Mwanamitindo na akiwa mwanamuziki Hamisa Mobetto amefanya mazungumzo na CEO wa Belea pamoja na Bumbu. Hivi ni vinywaji maarufu sana ulimwenguni ambavyo vimeweza kuwapa ubalozi pia wasanii wakubwa kama Rick Ross, Diamond Platnumz na wengine wengi sana. Jamaa huyu anayefahamika kwa jina la Brett Berish walikuwa live kupitia Instagram, ambapo kuna session yake ambayo ameipa jina la Self Made, ambapo mtu anazungumzia safari yake ya maisha mpaka kufikia mafanikio. So Hamisa Mobetto leo hii alikuwa anazungumza na CEO huyo wa Belea pamoja na Bumbu na vinywaji vingine vingi sana ambavyo ni maarufu ulimwenguni na kufunguka mambo mengi. Moja kati ya vitu ambavyo alivizungumza Hamisa Mobetto ni kuhusiana na safari yake ya muziki, ambapo kati ya swali ambalo aliulizwa ni kwamba wakati unaanza shughuli zako za muziki, kuna mtu yote mtu wako wa karibu alikukatisha tamaa kwamba usifanye hilo ambalo unalifanya? Na Hamisa Mobetto alifunguka kwamba mpenzi wake ambaye alikuwa anatoka naye kwa kipindi hiko alimkataza kufanya muziki, kitu ambacho kilimuumiza sana yeye kama mwanamke ambaye alikuwa anategemea kwamba mwanaume huyo ndiye awe chachu, yani ampe moyo kwenye kazi ambayo mpya ambayo anaifanya, lakini badala yake jamaa huyo alionekana kukinzana naye na kumdiscourage kwamba usifanye muziki, fanya mambo mengine. So Hamisa Mobetto amefunguka, unaweza kumsikiliza hapa pia akieleza kwa undani zaidi.
Is there anybody around you trust if they said don't do this? Or would you still do it because it's you?
When I started singing, my ex from that time, I was dating a man, and he was so against it. He was so against it, and I believe he still is, but it doesn't matter anymore. But he was so against it, and he broke my heart because I felt like he was the only person in the world that could actually support me.
Yeah.
Or actually believe in me, because he knew me, like he knew me for who I am. So he did not approve of it, but I didn't back out. I didn't back down. I was like, I'm doing this regardless. And now he's not in the picture. I'm glad I did not give up on my dreams.
Lakini pia si hivyo tu, Hamisa Mobetto pia amegusia kuhusiana na kolabo baada ya Hamisa kuulizwa kwamba ni msanii gani ambaye angependa kufanya naye kolabo, kwa sababu sasa hivi ameingia kwenye muziki, hivyo naamini kabisa atakuwa na ndoto za kufanya mengi kwenye muziki. Na kwa upande wa Hamisa Mobetto alimtaja Rick Ross kati ya watu ambao anatamani kufanya nao kolabo. By the way, Hamisa Mobetto ametumia hiyo opportunity kwa sababu wakati yuko live pia Rick Ross alikuwa anaangalia live yao, kama ambavyo nimekujuza hapo awali kwamba Rick Ross ni kati ya wasanii ambao wamepewa ubalozi wa kutangaza kinywaji cha Belea pamoja na Bumbu, lakini pia Lil Wayne pia ni kati ya wasanii ambao wanatangaza kinywaji cha Bumbu. So wasanii wengi wakubwa ulimwenguni wanatangaza kinywaji hiko cha Bumbu pamoja na Belea na vingine vingi ambavyo vinamilikiwa na CEO huyo. So Hamisa Mobetto akamtaja Rick Ross, akamtaja Chris Brown, Nicki Minaj na wengine kibao. Lakini pia Hamisa Mobetto kwa upande wa Afrika akamtaja Wizkid na Davido kati ya watu ambao wanatamani kufanya nao sana collab.
Anybody outside of Africa you'd want to collab with?
Definitely, yeah, one, Rick Ross.
Rick will do it. Rick is down. Anybody?
Yeah, anybody else would be Nicki Minaj or Chris Brown. Yeah, I know that's a long shot, but okay.
Anybody within Africa?
Within Africa, definitely. I would love to work with Davido or Wizkid. Yeah.
Do you want to see your music trend outside of East Africa? Meaning?
Yes, I want the whole world to know me. I want the whole world to know my name. I don't know how I'm going to do that. But
kuna mengi ambayo Hamisa Mobetto ameyafunguka. By the way, unaweza kumsikiliza hapa kwenye hii Insta live, lakini kama Kiingereza kinakupiga chenga I'm sorry for that, kwa sababu najua utapata tabu sana kujua nini ambacho Hamisa Mobetto alikuwa anakizungumza. Mimi naitwa Ricky Kisalala San, Instagram, Facebook na Twitter napatikana kama Ricky Media TZ. Bye bye.
Did you, when it happened, did you appreciate it?
I did. I cried because I remember I cried on my birthday. I cried so hard because I went through some difficulties a few years back. So I couldn't believe I made it. I couldn't believe I was actually alive. I was actually happy. I actually succeeded in everything that I wanted. I was so happy. I was so grateful to God. I was like, thank you, God. It's because of you I'm here. And my mom has been my #1 supporter from the beginning.
Nice.
So yeah, when I cried, she was actually with me. So I was so happy.
So I'll give you my struggles, which I love to say, because I think I think transparency helps people. They make you realize, boy, it wasn't easy. But for
Mm-hmm.
me, when I started, I was lost for 30 years. I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. That's a struggle. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard if you don't know. And
I
then for me, it was things like my first 6 years of doing this business was just terrible. Like it was just I didn't
know.
trust myself, and I lost money, and I lost my house, and but it's been
Aw.
amazing ever since. But it's great. So for you, like you don't have to like what does struggles mean? Like what did you think like when you think back, what did you have to go through to get to that moment 2 years ago?
So for me, I remember like that was like 6 years ago. I was like 19, going to 20 years. I got pregnant. I was actually in a mission of opening my own business, like my first business. And in the process, I ended up getting pregnant for my first child. Her name is Fantasy. So, and then I had to stop everything. And then I actually wish I was actually hoping a happily ever after with her father. And then we broke up right after I had my baby. So we broke up, and then I had to start from the start. Mind you, I was actually like planning. I had my life together. I had everything that I wanted together on in like sets, and then all of a suddenly everything collapsed, and then you have to start from the beginning. So I think that was so hard for me. And then I was like, okay. But then I think that I never gave up, even for a second, and I remember when I started, so apparently for me, I used to think maybe I have a bad luck or something, because everything that I tried, like I remember my modeling days. When I started modeling, people were saying, "Oh my gosh, she's fat. Oh, she has big
Mm,
hips. She has big thighs. Models are supposed to be skinny." But then I was like, you could separate me from all other models. I had something unique inside of me, and I think that's something that made me stand out. So I believe I was never made to fit in. So I worked hard, and then my modeling days, I did good. After that, I started my own businesses, and then when I wanted to work with companies in terms of being a brand ambassador, a lot of people didn't a lot of companies didn't believe in me. And then I was like, why? Because I think that was back then when my country usually didn't take like brand ambassadors from our country. Like even the models, a lot of models for products and everything were from other countries.
from
So I
other
was like,
countries. Yep.
yeah. So then I was like, when are these people actually going to use people like me, who are here? And then it actually got to that point, and I was like, yay. So the first company I worked with is a hair company. It's called Prima Afro. I'm still with them. This has been the third year since I started working with them. So when they believed in me, all other companies followed, and I'm like, yay, I'm good. I'm like, I'm good at this. I'm good at what I do. And I was so happy that people are actually finally realizing me, seeing me for who I am, for the hard work that I have. You know, I believe sometimes when people see you on the ground, they don't see the struggle.
Correct.
Especially if you're a woman, they just see this pretty face, a Barbie doll who's just posing and smiling. They don't know that you work 24 hours, you work so hard, and you just don't post your struggles, because I believe nobody cares about your struggle until you make it.
Yep.
Because now, Brett, you are able to tell your story because you
Yep.
have made it.
Correct.
Yeah, you are
Correct.
successful, but when you're starting, even if you tell anybody, nobody cares,
Correct.
because people care more about the results. They don't care
Correct.
about your struggles. Yeah.
Do you
So
use do you use the people who say no and you can't do it and you don't look right? Is that a chip on your shoulder? Do you use that?
do I what?
Do you use that as motivation when people say no, you can't do
I
it?
did at back. Yeah, I did back then. I really did, especially the modeling days, because I wanted to be unique. I loved my body. I was like, I look good in everything I wear, so why do I have to be so skinny?
Yeah.
So the moment I started catwalking, I started walking on that on the stages and everything, and on the fashion shows. Everything was just beautiful, and everybody was so happy. So when they saw people cheering for me back then, everybody was just so happy, and everybody said, "Oh, she's good, she's good." I was like, "Okay, at least now you can see."